Hey guys, Danielle here from helpingbuildbridgesacross.com. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for wearing, surrounding your life with gratitude. That is my intent. It always has been for a very long time, but now it's intensified. It's what I think about, is what I do, is what fulfills me. And because of that, I get a lot of pushback. Pushback means that things come at you all kinds of ways, a lot of distractions, but you know what? Get one life. I just get one here. So the way I see it, I'm going to be fulfilled. I'm going to do the things that are important to me to do. And so I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of HBBA, also known as Helping Build Bridges Across. .com. So tonight I wanted to do a little something different. I'm going to start reading some of the pieces from my book, because what I have now is an eagle call. I've had it for a long time actually, and I'm asking that you find what fits you. There's no one way to do it. Just the fact that you share, the fact that you care, that you're here, just doing what you do is a huge help. But I do have an eagle call, and I am asking that you visit that page, if you haven't already, helpingbuildbridgesacross.com, and find what fits you, and then please, by all means, use it, be a part of it, plant seeds with me. A community means that we all do our part. We don't all have to do the same thing, and we all can do it in our own way. But the fact is that we can get a lot more done as a ripple, right? A part, a piece, a post, right? So it's not just one thing. It's not one person. It's all of us doing our part. So tonight I wanted to do something a little. I keep calling it tonight because I'm used to doing it first thing in the morning. Just changing it up a little bit. The book is Live Heart Inspired by me. My middle name is Danielle. Never had a reason to use a middle name, and I thought, why have a middle name and not use it? So that's why I call it, use it by Danielle. But I want you to take the journey with me. This book is full of images and words, and it's really just meant for you to reflect. It's really like your personal journal, for you to write all over the pages, have your own thoughts, your own perspective, to encourage you, I hope, to do some of the things that are important to you. So just know that that's very important, and do whatever it is that it looks like. Excuse me one second, I'm just doing one quick thing here, guys. You're at my phone, and I want to make sure to, real life, this is not a reality TV show, but you know, I got to respond to this, so it's pretty important to me. Alright, I did what I had to do there. Thank you for your patience, and I'm going to put it on silent so it doesn't continue to make that noise. But that's family, and I take time for family, so thank you for that. So the book, again, Live Heart Inspired by Danielle, and the title that I'm going to read tonight is going to center around one page. So it's called Storms Along the Journey. And look at that powerful storm. The lightning, the power of that, you know, the things that lightning can do. We had, the national news recently had a story about, I think, Tennessee. A lot of people lost their lives, and so my heart goes out to those families. And see, this is what I was talking about, you know, in a moment. I'm big on that. I don't drive, well, actually I do drive at home. It's a part of who I am. That's what I think, that's a part of me, right? Everybody has their own thing, their own rhythm, but that's a big piece for me to always remind people to kind of keep the alarm clock on. It doesn't mean you have to walk around in a panic. It just means that if you kind of keep the concept that no one promised you that tomorrow will look the same way, it really determines how you act. Your conversation, you know, what you're offended by. You may get offended, but now you'll be able to address it and not go to sleep on it or let it harbor or decide to become more distant. You know what I mean? This is what I was talking about. You're able to put it in perspective, like, I didn't like it and I need to address it. And in a good way, when you're in a good place to do so. You're not looking to bring more drama. So anyway, so storms along the journey. Pretty appropriate. I had some reroutes myself this week. So going this distance, right? And then sharp turn, unexpected. Now I got to regroup and figure that out. But you know what? I'm just going to continue to stand on God's grace and look for His wisdom in all of this. As a woman of faith, you know, I was thinking about this the other day. When you're living in your faith, it's very challenging. One of the questions that came up to my heart was, when you're trusting God for things and you believe in His protection for your family or things in your life or whatever, your traveling mercy, all those things, and you have to say to yourself, I'm believing for this. I'm strong on that. Health and healing and wholeness, whatever your thing is, right? You just know. I know that I know, and I'm standing right. So if you're that definite on those things, you have to be just as confident on everything else. An exercise, a work, God knows our heart, and I'm not here badgering anybody. I'm here to say that that's the wonderful thing about having a relationship with your Creator. I'm speaking to myself when I share with you, because it allows us to be reminded of things we have walked through, His grace and His mercy, but also being able to hear Him, in present season. It's a very big deal, because when so many things are going awry or going the way you didn't expect, or you didn't plan this, it wasn't a blueprint, it wasn't a map, it's easy to get kind of get weighted maybe, or lose confidence, or just kind of things can kind of drift, those thoughts, those subtleties, and you're battling that. And we all have our own battles, but let me put it on the table while we're talking about this. I'm asking myself the same questions. When you're trusting God for things, you can't trusting Him to protect, your children, or to have His loving care around your family members and your own life, traveling mercy for your own life. I mean, I have to walk out the door too, and being in my home. So there's all these things that are in your heart, health and wholeness. So if you're believing for those things for your own life, then you have to believe for everything in your life. It's not one area that can kind of be put aside. It's something to reflect on, something to think about. Okay, so what I need is what I appreciate you doing, and I do need for you to get active. I need you to connect to my Eagle Call. I need you to go in there on that page on helpingbuildbridgesacross.com, Eagle Call, and find what fits you. That's my ask. And it'll be my continual ask for this next season, because it's important to me. Sometimes people don't know, because I don't know what I don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. And so I've had people say, how can I help? How can I be a part of it? You can be a part of it by answering my Eagle Call, by finding something on that page that fits you. There's a lot of different resources there, and so my ask is that you find what fits you, or what you can do. We all have something we can do differently, and just practicing gratitude, just replying, just sharing is huge. Don't think there's one thing you have to do. I'm not pushing anybody in any direction. Find what fits and connect. And thank you for all those who have connected. I really believe we can be the change that we want to see. And we don't have to accept the status quo of this things that are just constantly negative or dark. We can really make an effort just to do our part and just celebrate life and just do what we can. And even in our pressure and pain and places that are not easy, gosh, don't I have a list on that? But we can still just work ourselves into our joy by the things that we have experienced. I was thinking the other day, if you want a good way to encourage yourself is what you've already walked through. Think back on your life. I don't know about you, but even back to high school days, I can think about things that the Lord was with me. I mean, thank you for getting me through these little places. They weren't anything major, but you just don't know. Maybe in the car with people that, their life could have, maybe they were driving. The driving wasn't the best. It could be a number of things I could think of. But I'm making the point that if you want to be encouraged, think about what you have walked through. That's a huge one for those who are looking for that moment of encouragement beyond just what we share here and other things. Okay, so the book, Live, Heart, Inspire. I need you to go buy the book. That's a big deal. Go share it. If it's not for you, it's full of images. It's really a journal of images, thoughts to reflect on. The same as my post, but this is a little different. It makes you kind of stop and think about it, reflect on it, put it to use, and then sow a seed in someone else's life. So I want to say thank you for that. Again, this is one of my Eagle Calls. All right, so storms along the journey. I'm going to just read this one page. It's part of many pages, but I'm just going to stick to one page. Even if the scenario was one that was personal or intended to be hurtful, I still sit in the driver's seat. My viewpoint is, it is not what happens to me. It is how I choose to react that matters. Let me say that again. My viewpoint is, it is not what happens to me. It is how I choose to react that matters. It's the reaction. That's the power. That's the discipline. So there are times, there are situations that can be out of control, and realistically, in those moments, you are in high winds and forced to ride the waves because your options appear minimal. Only you and I can decide how deep the devastation penetrates our heart and our mind, and we can decide how to walk through it. We can decide how to walk through it. remaining stable and joyful, or revisiting moments. I just said that, didn't I? I didn't know if it was on this page. Or revisiting moments. Exactly what I was talking about. Even as I'm talking to you, I'm getting fulfilled and encouraged. I'm encouraging myself. This is why I do it, because it's an ointment. When I encourage others, it encourages me. It's just who I am. What I do is not for someone else. It's just what makes it's just what works for me. And so it's like an ointment. You know, the more you pour, the more oil you pour, the more it comes back, and you really can get. I just want more of it. Okay, so got to do more of this probably, right? But I want you to know that we can decide how to walk through it, remaining stable and joyful, or revisiting moments, holding on to it as long as possible, even becoming bitter until it rips us apart. So what it's saying is, let me read that part very carefully. We can decide how to walk through it, remaining stable and joyful, or revisiting moments, holding on to it as long as possible, even becoming bitter until it rips us apart. It's always a choice. So that is really symbolizing we have a choice in how we allow it to penetrate our lives. It's not what happens to us, it's how we choose to react. And so, Live Heart Inspired by Danielle. This is one insert of many to come. I just wanted to make sure to say, I thank you for answering my Eagle Call. That is my ask. Answer my Eagle Call. helpingbuildbridgesacross.com. Eagle Call. Figure out what works for you, and then let me know. I mean, share with me. Don't just do these things and not let me know. Some of you do. You're good about that. You direct message me, or you post on one of the social media sites, and I appreciate that, because it's not mine. A community is supposed to be many people, right? We're all doing our part. I don't own it, right? I just shared it because I was looking for a place like it. Read my About page if you're not sure what all this is going. But anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out. Eagle Call is the new mission here. It's my focus to let you know. You don't know what you don't know. I need you to answer my Eagle Call. Danielle, helpingbuildbridgesacross.com. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out with me. I appreciate it. I wish I could do a little song or something, but I like singing, but I'm not, well, I won't say I'm not good at it, but I'll spare you this time, okay? I just like to be encouraged. So as I'm talking to you, I'm encouraging myself, and I'm very grateful to God for that opportunity. All right, guys. Until next time, Danielle, helping build bridges across. Take care.